Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, under 6 total grams today of carbohydrates. You know that saying, if you want to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs? How many times have you heard that and gone, what is she talking about? I came to her with an issue that I'm having about such and such. What does she mean with a solution like that? Well, if you want to make a mini quiche, you got to crack some eggs. And so that's what I'm having today is those little mini quiches, and it's a Bobby Flay. There, I bought them. They came in a 3-pack from Kohl's probably 6 years ago, and they hold a little mini quiche just perfectly. And I make mine with my goodies, and I make Greg's with his goodies, and we're both happy and purring by the time we finish. And it is mighty tasty. And so the macros that I'm having today, for some reason, my iPhone, it's not even an iPhone, it's my Android, won't put, my smartphone is giving me grief today. So these are my macros for today. And it says 1,325 calories. See, I have to keep turning it. Protein is 46.2. Carbs total, never net, are 5.4. And my fat is 125.8. Oh, yes, indeed. So what this includes for foods is 2 jumbo Pete and Jerry eggs, 100 grams of, 100 grams of organic Valley cream cheese, 1.5 ounces of goat's cheese, pepper jack cheese, and 1 DeLuigi organic sausage that I've chopped up in it. And I'm putting in 30 grams of Good Culture organic cottage cheese too. And so I will mix that all up and bake that and have that tonight for the dinner, along with a very, very small portion of greens. They are Olivia's Olivia's baby lettuce, 30 grams of that, with 1 tablespoon that contains 4th and ghee, pink Himalayan salt ghee, melted, and macadamia nut oil. So it's like 50-50 of those two things. And I make sure that the ghee is melted with the macadamia nut oil, and I pour that over the lettuces. And so that will be my dinner tonight. And so it's been a great, it's a great middle of the week dinner to have. I was just looking at a message from Viv, who comes in as Spive21. He just private messaged me, so I was just kind of glancing over there. Sorry, rude. And so I'm totally happy today. Again, this is a good feeling that I'm having. I've made some rather interesting tweaks into my food plan in the last few weeks, and I'm feeling the benefit from it, and cutting back on some things, adding some things, giving up some things. And I guess my question to you is, does anybody know what fillers are in vitamin supplements when you take a caplet of something? What are those fillers inside of that? Has anybody ever found out what that means? It's kind of like going to the store and buying something that says natural. Well, okay, what does that mean? And so I'm just always curious, because they've got these just below the law type of food usage or food additives that can get them to be able to use something that could be not nefarious like, some chemical companies, but just if you knew, would you still take it type of ingredients. And so when I watched that fascinating snake oil and Simland podcast, they were talking about give up those, don't take those tablets, potassium, magnesium, throw them out. just have the powders. And I have been having the powders because I make my own. It might not be snake oil mixture, but it's Sarah's mixture. And the wet comes from the juice of a squeezed lemon on the powders. And so I have that every morning, and I have for years. And so I've gone along the journey. I used to do wheatgrass. That's funny. And I don't do that anymore. And so I guess we can think of some of the things we've given up along the way and the better we feel for it. But I know that with my ketovore kind of food plan, the less ingredients that I have that I'm used to, the less surprises that I'm going to get. You know, when I have the keto pizza, there's a little way that I kind of pay for it digestively, but not enough to make me give it up, because the head food addict, if I have a pizza, I'm fine, is very happy with that. And as I've said before in previous videos, if I can use it making less almond flour crust, I will. I'm not going to switch the crust because Greg and I both like the almond flour. But as Mike from Keto Mad reminds me, there's oxalates in almonds. And so a month ago, I wouldn't have known an oxalate if I met it and shook its hand. But now I'm getting a little bit better with that, along with the salicylates. Am I saying that right? Those are toxic chemicals, and you can find them in foods, even in gum. So I'm just learning a lot. I've watched about 2 minutes of the Dr. Oz why flavored waters aren't good for you. And the ones that they were showing, I know, were artificially sweetened. But, you know, as you go along in your keto or your carnivore journey, you just learn different things, even different salts. You know, I have the Celtic salt crystals that I put on my tongue before I drink my water. I have my pink Himalayan salt that I use in my cooking, in my coffee, in my water, my triple filtered tap water that we have with all the filters. I use the Redmond's fine ancient grain salt on my OMAD. And yeah, I guess those are the 3 or 4 salts that I use. And they work for me. And so by having each one, I could be getting different minerals, I don't know, from each one, or something that's added in. And then I have my either San Pellegrino, Garistolar, am I saying that right, Jim? And Mountain Valley waters during the day. They are, oh, and my Topo Chico, yes. I haven't gone onto their website to see what the ingredients are. All I know is that it's a snappy, peppery, refreshing, tiny bubble mineral water from Mexico that is kind of winning out the other ones at this time. When I go from a Topo Chico to a San Pellegrino in the plastic bottle as opposed to the glass bottle, the bubble difference is notable. And it's just so funny because, like, who cares, right? Like, who cares? It's like having a some sort of like coffee, like my pour over coffees are much more rich than my Keurig ones, even the Vita Cups, although I love the Vita Cups. So it's just very interesting, the things we learn about ourselves. But my one question today is, with supplements, what supplements do you take if you're carnivore and or ketovore? And with, you know, have you ever checked out what the fillers are? Have you ever been concerned? Have you ever given something up because of the fillers? I know after listening to Dr. Georgia Ede talk about turmeric, that's gone like that. She says basically your body does not absorb turmeric. So if you like the flavoring, do by all means continue it as a spice, but not as a supplement that's going to be doing some good for your body. So all those things you get in your email feeds, like I do, about, oh, there's turmeric, blah, 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 and it's only $35 for 30-day supply. You don't need it, I guess. So I'm just sticking to the salts. I've even kind of given up pepper because I've seen some carnivore people talk about not having pepper. So thoughts on that if you are a person that used to eat pepper and now you don't. So these are just some of the things that my little mind ponders as I go through my day. And outside of that, I'm totally happy. Today, I have a little patch of skin cancer, a couple more inches down here, and one here above my little seahorse, my sea turtles right there. And today they're going to remove one of them, and next week, same time, same place, the other. And I'm happy about that. And so I did do my Macy's tour of finding the mother of the groom dress, and I had the palazzo pants, and I put them on, and they just but I did find one of those tiny, like a ballerina skirt, tiny little pleats, and I've seen it in one ad where a woman goes dancing through her kitchen, but it's kind of sweet and pretty. It's a very, very pale pale yellow, and 2 Calvin Klein dresses that are going back today. So I came home with 3 outfits, and some Unisa black ankle strap heels, and they're a thicker heel, so they're like that high, and they were $20. And then the pleated skirt was $15. This was on the backstage that Macy's now has. And a cashmere sweater that I absolutely love because I was going to buy one tomorrow anyway, or today, because they go on sale. And I take a certain size that I can never find in the stores. And there it was, black, the size that I want, on sale from $140 to $40. So I have my completed outfit. It's a little bit sassy. I tried on all 3 things for Greg. He thought I looked much more me in the skirt, cashmere sweater, heels thing. And so I'm getting away with $92 for my mother of the groom outfit. And to me, it's just a nice, classy look. The Calvin Klein dresses were nice. They had that fitted sleeve to there with the bell sleeve, and both of them I loved. One was kind of an orange that I would have worn with the black patent leather belt and those shoes, and the other one was a decorated, very, very fall evening wedding type one. They both fit and they both look nice, but you know, I'll get a lot more use out of the shoes and the cashmere sweater for sure, even if I don't wear the little flowy ballerina skirt again. And it's long, it's below the knee, so it hides a lot of nature's curses that happen to us when we get older. So I'm happy. And so that's, you know, I know you tuned in to find out about that skirt. Will I wear that skirt? And so it's kind of funny, or kind of fun. And I will do all of that. And then I got a little worry, you know, not that you have ever had worry, right? A little worried about like, well, how am I going to handle the food? We're invited to my married in 2 days son's house for Thanksgiving, and then 2 days later getting married. So the Thanksgiving gathering, it sounds like 40 or 50 people, crowded, crazy, and then I have to work again that night because I switched up so I could have the wedding night off. And then 2 days later, the same people for the wedding. And my former family, my former in-laws, all are very heavy drinkers. And so I don't need 2 nights of that. I just don't. And so we're going to omit the Thanksgiving instead of rushing there 40 miles away and then rushing home and me still working. And on the wedding, I will still make my keto pizza that Saturday and have it at 2, which is kind of like my I'm used to it type of thing. And then go to the wedding and we can do cocktail hour and watch the people, and you know, maybe Greg will eat again at the buffet. He can do those things. But I'm not going to eat late at night and pay the consequences. I mean, do you know what I mean? I mean, getting older, following a stricter food plan, it's kind of like you want to take care of yourself in these social situations, not be a curmudgeon, but, you know, I don't want to get there and like the wedding's at 4, which means at 5 to 6, it's cocktail hour, which means by 7, everybody's dining. And, you know, I can't imagine eating at 7 anymore. That's like 4 hours after my window. So I guess this is, handling the social consequences or dilemmas that poke up from time to time. And so aren't you glad I brought this to you too, to figure it out? But I'm happy, and it lowers my anxiety level to know that, like, I've figured out the plan for both those 2 times that could be socially confusing and upsetting digestively. We are in that season now. I mean, this just happens to be a holiday and a wedding, but we are in that season now where we are confronted with social conditions, social invitations and things like that, were things that were, were thrown off a little bit. And although I don't worry about finding the foods that would suit me, just eating 4 hours later would not. I'm just such a creature of habit. Are you a creature of habit? Tell me about your being a creature of habit. Let's start with that. And then the fillers. Those are the 2 questions I have for you today. If you have any information on how you handle your social creature of habit dilemmas, and also fillers in supplements. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, with keto at 5.4 total carbs today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.